Hello everyone, welcome to this week's devlog video. I've been really busy this week, so the video was delayed a bit, but I got there eventually. So this week I wanted to focus on power-ups. So if you see the little power-up dude, you'll remember that he was still kind of boring. He just sort of dropped an ammo pickup. He didn't really do much more than that. So this week I was wanting to add some more power-ups to choose from. First thing I did was create a little to-do list. At number 1, we've got modify gun script to have a shotgun behavior. Now the shotgun's going to shoot once, then discard itself, and then it's going to shoot 3 bullets in a cone. And I've got to make sure that the shotgun doesn't use the player's pistol bullets, and make sure that the shotgun bullets itself have their own limit of bounces. Now that last one is just for sort of balancing, so that we still can sort of change how many bounces the bullets last. So if it's default at 4, we can lower it to 2 if the shotgun's too overpowered. Next, I want to make the power-up jar spawn the shotgun, as well as change the weapon state to the shotgun when the item's picked up, so that sort of swaps out the pistol for the shotgun sort of thing. Then I want to assign the power-up jar to the train spawner, so that it's spawning randomly with the train carriages. And finally, I want to make sure that we can get different items from the power-up jar. It's not always just going to be just a shotgun, so it just picks randomly between maybe 3 different items and more as I sort of add more items into the game and make sure that's easy to add on to. Last but not least, I'm just going to be doing some bug fixes and some art. So I'm just going to start working on step 1, and then I'll see you once that's complete. Starting to make some leeway now with the shotgun mechanic. I've got it sort of shooting its 3 bullets out in its 20-degree arc, so it's negative 10 degrees to the left, negative 10 to the right, and then it sort of increases outwards constantly. I got a little bit carried away and added the functionality for the jar dropping the shotgun, so when you go and pick up the shotgun from the jar, it switches your weapon, and then when you shoot the shotgun, you see that it changes back to the normal bullet. So that's you switching back to the pistol. I don't actually have an actual visual for the actual gun itself changing yet, but it's a fairly easy thing to change. I just need to add like one little thing to it. If we have a quick look at the gun script here, you'll see that I've got 3 bullets. That sort of corresponds to what state that the sort of gun is currently in. Normal bullet means it's going to be shooting the normal bullet. It's just your pistol. And then you'll see that there's a shotgun one, and there's also a slow dart one, and the shotgun one shoots the shotgun, or the shoot gun pellet is what I named it for some reason, and then the slowing dart will shoot the slow dart one. Now the slowing dart was just something I just sort of come up with. I thought it would be a cool mechanic, could be a good idea, something I need to sort of experiment with, and we'll find out. But the idea for that is that when you shoot a player with the dart, it will actually slow the player, but not kill them. So it's like but then the bullet itself would have to travel very quickly, so it'd be like hard to dodge, or maybe it like expand into lots of bullets or something. I don't know yet, but currently it doesn't actually do anything, just sort of changes the color of the bullet to blue, but the rest of it will be sort of coded in later on. The only thing left for me to do now is to finish off the rest of the sort of power-up jars mechanics, and then we should be done for the mechanics and I can move on to the art. It's been about 10 minutes now, and everything seems to be working just fine. I fixed that thing where the jar would hit the collider there and then kill itself. It now enters and leaves the battle zone freely as it needs to. I've also made it so that the jar can spawn on the train now. That's working just fine. It only spawns in that one carriage, but that can be sort of changed fairly easily. I've fixed the bug where the player could get over 6 bullets, so now it should only be capped at 6. And then finally, the most important feature was making it so that the items that come out of the jar were random, so that is now working just fine, as you can see now. So I'm just going to jump into the scene view and sort of show you how I sort of did that and sort of how that's working. First thing I did was I wanted to make the jar ignore these colliders here, and that was fairly easy to do. All I did was assign a layer to both the wall, and then if we come down to the urn, I also assigned a layer to the urn itself. Then once you do that, you can come into File, Edit, Project Settings, Physics. If you click on Physics here, it sort of takes you to this sort of window here, and if you see here, we've got the sort of item box here. You sort of see all the things it collides with, and it ignores train colliders and the wall collider at the moment. So you just untick the wall collider and it will ignore everything on that layer essentially. So that's how that worked, and that was working pretty well. Next, I wanted to make it so that it would spawn on this train along with every other train sort of thing. So it's like sort of assigned to this type of train. So the way I sort of did that is I sort of started with, I grabbed the urn, which is sort of up here, and I sort of just parented it to one of these carriages. And then I created its own prefab out of it. Then once I've created a prefab from it, I then took it into the spawner. This is where the train spawns in, and I can add a new item, and then you just go and find the object in here where you can just drag it and drop it. I'm not going to add another one because that's how I wanted it. So as you can see here, there's one carriage that has the actual jar on it. So it's like a, what is it, a 1 in 6 chance? 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah, 1 in 6 chance that you'll get an urn spawning. And you can do this like on different carriages as well, just to add some more variation to everything. But for now, it was working, and that's sort of what I did for that. As for the actual urn itself, I also had the sort of pick between 3 different objects, and pretty much the same way the train script works. It'll just pick between these objects, and then it has like a 1 in 3 chance that it'll get a shotgun sort of thing. And that's sort of how I'm calculating the probability there. And with that, I'm able to move on to the art. Now the art that I was going to make was the blunderbuss. So the blunderbuss is like a one-shot shotgun. I thought it fit really well in the sort of age and sort of tone of the game, and you can get some really cool little shapes with a blunderbuss. It's very like distinctive in its look. So I did a bit of research, and I found some blunderbusses that I really like the look of online, and there was this one from Sea of Thieves. So I thought I would try to model something like that, and if I could get something similar to that, then I'd be pretty happy in the end. With the video, I've just sped it up a bunch. I'm not going to be showing the whole process. There'll be parts where I just sort of time skip sort of thing to different areas. That's because I don't want the video to be too long. Just want to be short enough so that I can add some gameplay of actually having the shotgun in the game at the end. So I'll just leave you guys to watch this, and then I'll see you guys back in Unity, and we can sort of see it playing. Alright guys, that about does it for this game development video. The blunderbuss itself is probably about 50% done. I've only really textured the barrel so far. The rest of the wood and everything else still needs to be painted, but you'll see that in the next game development video. So I'm going to leave you now just with some sort of highlight clips of when we played the game. The full gameplay of this video will be uploaded in a separate video, just as in its raw form. So you'll see that. About halfway through, I sort of swapped it out to make the jars be spawned on every carriage, just so we can get more shotgun gameplay. So if you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your friend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.